Hi, and welcome to a new episode of this podcast and to a new YouTube video. So, today I wanted to show you some things I found on Reddit and just comment on that. So, obviously, this is about show jumping, and I found some things related to show jumping. So, first one saying relocating to ride. Hi, all. I'm starting my show jumping career and I'm wanting to relocate to Europe. However, I'm not sure which country is best to relocate for show jumping. I was originally thinking Spain, but I feel like Belgium and the Netherlands are strong contenders as well. Does anyone have any insights or connections or stables that they would recommend? So let me give you my answer. On Reddit, I can't really say this, but I can hear on YouTube, I think, and on the rest of the platforms is contact my stables, which is Parachina Stables. And then let me tell you about the different countries. So the first contender would be Germany. Right, Germany is in Europe. I'd say that the biggest, or I'd definitely say that the biggest equestrian world is in Germany. The riding school in Germany, there is no other one that is like the German one. If you want to learn how to ride, if you want to have a lot of shows of every level, small shows and then big shows to train, small shows to train and bigger shows up to international shows. You have a lot of that in Germany. Then, well, Belgium and Holland, they're now becoming the centers, the capitals of riding in Europe. And that whole area is more concentrated, the most concentrated riding area in Europe, which is the western part of Germany, which would be Münster, which is right next to Holland and Belgium. It's all in that like a triangle, that area where most of the stables are. So Spain, let me tell you about Spain. Amazing in Spain is the shows. There's nothing like, I'd say there's nothing like the shows we got here in the winter, in the autumn, and in the spring. In this area, Valencia, we got Moda Tours Valencia, which just started now since they rented the place, the big showground. You got Oliva, also good show. And then you got Sunshine Tour down in Bejer de la Frontera in the far south of Spain. And well, it's amazing to compete here. That is why everybody comes down here to compete. And people from Spain don't usually go up to the north to compete if they don't have to. They typically don't have to. So if they have to, I'm talking about people that ride Nations Cup, World Cups, Global Champions Tour. Yeah, they go up to other countries because they kind of have to. So the answer to that, yeah, it depends also. It depends on what level you want to ride, how a lot of things. One thing about Spain is we have enough shows. Yeah, you have smaller shows in Europe, sorry, in Germany, etc. Which is here typically there's the international shows, which are obviously very expensive, etc. But yeah, we also have national shows. You have smaller territorial shows which are friendly to train. You got anything you need here. And there's a lot of people are moving from, Germany, etc., moving to Spain because it's just amazing to live here. We got no snow all winter. We got brilliant weather. It's there's typically not many indoor arenas here because we don't need one. So the location as per enjoying the riding and also the shows because these international routes tours there's none like that really up there in Germany, etc. There's shows but 1 or 2 week shows, not 15-week, 20-week shows, etc. So yeah, so far so good. Let's read this response. Great idea. I'm from the Netherlands, but I spent quite some time for various US writers like Laura Crowd and Lauren Hugh. What they love most about Europe, besides the big shows, are the small shows you can take youngsters to. Belgium, Holland are easier to get from to other shows in Germany and France than Spain. Absolutely. Plus, things are way more developed here than in Spain. In a way that all over the country, professional training facilities, hosting shows, etc. Depending on your financial situation, the best place I could recommend is Staal Hendrik, Netherlands, or Henk Noren's place, Ego Rimati in Belgium. Henk Noren. We still got the glasses of Henk Noren that he left in our house in Germany a few years back, quite a few years back. So yeah, when we see Henk, we will give him back his glasses. Henk Noren is amazing, by the way. All right, I read this a little bit. It's true that you have a lot of shows in Netherlands and you can go anywhere to Germany, but quite frankly, people in Spain, we don't really need to go anywhere else to compete. We got everything we need here. In the summer, it's true that in the summer, there is a little bit of a lack of jumping huge shows like 160, etc. There's not many like that, 150 or 55 shows. There's not many because it's very hot in the summer. And the shows that are in the north, the ones that have a lot of class that are very high level, they're typically one weekend shows. They're not like tours like the ones we have in the winter. Okay, let's go to the next Reddit. Help, my pony keeps refusing. I was wondering if anyone on here would be able to help me. I'm on my last year of ponies, and my 14.8 pony was really consistent all of last year with a couple of poles here and there. She has always had a stop in her, but recently it's gotten really bad. She used to have harsh stops due to spooks, but now she just gradually slows down towards the jump and will plant herself. I will be there kicking her with spores and she won't react. I went to a show over the weekend and I couldn't get anywhere near the first jump and had to retire. We had we have tried everything from ulcer treatment, physiotherapy, saddle fitting, shoes, no shoes, blood tests, and teeth, and we can't think of what we can do now as nothing seems to be working. I would like to mention that she is perfect at home in lessons at unaffiliated shows, however, it comes to BS. She is not having it. She's only 8, so I doubt she's given up because if she had, she wouldn't jump at home. I'm really stuck on what to do, and it's really heartbreaking. Can anyone help? All right, the pony. When I first read this, I thought something else, but now I read it a little bit more. Yeah, it's very difficult when someone asks for advice in this way. It's very difficult for me to just read this and say, "Oh, do this, do that." I would have to see it in person to really see what it's like, to see what happens really. Yeah, it's hard to read this and just from the text know what's happening. Typically, now the weird thing here is that this girl or boy, whatever, probably girl, right? Really consistent all of last year with a couple of poles here and there. Okay, the poles don't matter. All right, so if I ride a horse, if I, for example, sit on a new horse when I was riding somewhere for some horse, and then the horse was stopping in a weird way, just didn't want to jump, I would especially look at the back, see if I could see some stiffness in the back. Often it's related to some pain. Now what she said was she did also treatment, physiotherapy, saddle fitting, shoes, no shoes, blood tests, and teeth. So you could see that this girl did a couple of things. It could be physical, and there could be things like, okay, she just had blood tests also. Also, horses sometimes they have something like a muscle illness. They can have weird things, really, things that you wouldn't explain yourself before a vet detects it, for example. But you did blood tests, so sometimes a horse a horse learns to stop. It will never unlearn it. Now, what do we do in a situation like that? It's you would need to I would need to see if your trainer, I know how to say this, but maybe your trainer knows what he's doing, maybe he doesn't really. You need a trainer who's good and who can handle the situation. Question to you is, do you have a trainer? Do you consider your trainer to be good? Maybe he is, I don't know who it is. And what does he or she say? Because often it's a thing that horses do as a defense from what it's a response to riding mistakes, and you just need some skilled rider to make the horse jump again. And when the horse is jumping again, then well, pet the horse, or it is changing a horse's behavior. So it looks weird, right? Because if you have a horse, and you should analyze it also. Maybe you have videos of you riding. That would be interesting to see. Maybe you have the videos of when the horse started to stop for the first times. You said the horse is spooky. That's what I mean. There's different kinds of stopping. A horse that is spooky, where you can already see that the horse will eventually stop because it's spooking away from the jump meters before the jump. But then sometimes also a little bit of respect, that the horse needs to respect the leg and a lot of things. It's not so easy to just explain it. Do this, and the horse will stop stopping. You need skill for that. So let's read this comment. I deleted my previous comment because I missed a few things you had mentioned already. So she is only reacting when you go to rated shows. What is the difference between schooling shows and the shows on the circuit? Location, number of spectators, schedule of the day, where I am. Schooling and unaffiliated shows are one day, and rated shows are multiple days with overnight stays. The drive is further. The prep time is different, and the stress is different. The classes are much bigger, and the rated shows, for the most part, so lots of waiting around. Also, the riders, adults, and kids are far more stressed about results in rated shows, and horses know this. I know a few horses that excel in some rings, but refuse in others. They don't like the setup, or there is an object that is scary. Sometimes it can be the type of jump. If you can, if you can see, if you can school on the premises where the rated shows are held to acclimatize your pony without all other distractions. If that's not available to you, have your coach an or another rider to warm up at the show if it's allowed. They can either work through same to some of the issues or get a feel for whatever is spooking the pony. They also won't feel as stressed as you are on show day. So maybe they can give your pony some confidence. Yeah, so seems like solid advice. I mean, also keep in mind, if you are not American and you think, what is this person talking about? Just know that the shows are set up in a different way in America a little bit than here. Well, not a little bit, but some things are much different, some things are the same. I mean, it depends. So, I mean, if a horse is spooking, then obviously the horse will spook more at some jumps that are uglier than the others, are more ugly to the horse. The horse has a different sensation of the colors and everything. So typically stuff like bright yellow jumps and other colory jumps are more spooky to the horse. If you have a jump which is in the direction of the sun, then often the horse will spook more, or in contrary to on the other way. The sun, the reflection of the sun on the jump also is something that is, that the spooky horse does not like. If you have a horse that just learned how to stop, and it's not something clinical, not some stiffness, it's an attitude thing, then a professional rider can help you with that. Okay. Do you feed her twice a day, or does she have free choice of hay at all times? We feed her twice a day, and she does have free choice. We don't have much grass at the moment, so we're trying to do as much as we can. Okay. Much grass. I hope you're not referring to you not have enough hay, because hay is quite necessary for a horse. It is very, very necessary. The most important thing you can give a horse is hay. The horse is stopping because it's not happy with the menu given to the horse. All right, so enough. Yeah, let's do a resume on this. You should have a trainer who helps you with this. Do you have a trainer who can sit on the horse, on the pony, and help you out? Or does a trainer maybe have a rider who's a little bit smaller, maybe, to sit on the horse, sit on the pony, and have a feel for that? You did you did good that you looked for different looked for different things that the horse could have, physiotherapy. But also think people want to sell you things. And you should have a good vet. Let's start with that. You should have a good vet and tell him the situation. Maybe the vet finds something. And then if the vet says, hey, physiotherapy, something like that is required, then maybe do that. But consult your trainer, consult your vet. It's difficult to see it from here and give you a response. All right, let's go to the next one. Getting back into writing. Hi, I'm feeling excited and nervous. I'm getting back into writing after not doing it for almost 8 years. I am in my 20s now, and I still have most of my equipment, tights, helmet, gloves, but no boots. I ride dressage, but never competed. I always preferred wearing tall boots. I had a couple cheap pairs of field boots that lasted a long time. I'm gonna start taking lessons and want to wear tall boots, but I don't want to look stupid since I'm getting back into it. Should I just get paddock boots and chaps, or should I stick with wearing tall boots like I used to? All right. So, yeah, I am not a dressage rider, but I think if you want to do good dressage, I think you need tall boots. I think tall boots are necessary. Don't want to go to shows with half boots and half chaps. That's more. I actually started to riding only with boots at home, and keep in mind I'm a show jumper. And then I stopped using half boots, and I just used boots. But honestly, I got my half boots and putting on some chaps. It's just comfortable. Sometimes I still do it. It's easy. You put them on, you put them on. Don't have to, clean them, and then it's a long process to clean boots. I don't. It's uncomfortable. So yeah, get your tall boots if you don't have boots, and then you can maybe also get some these field boots, or yeah, field boots with like half chaps. So as far as talking about looking stupid and all of that, look, you have not been riding for 8 years, so ride a little bit. Maybe I'll get a trainer there. I hope you do, and if you don't, then maybe ride a horse who behaves good. You don't want to ride a horse who will, I don't know, start bucking or things like that. That would not give you a good experience. So go slowly. Don't do that much the first day. You're gonna have a lot of. You're gonna be very sore. All right, it is what it is. 8 years of not using these muscles. You're gonna feel bad the next day. So if you have been 8 years without riding, you shouldn't go with the mentality of you're gonna ride your son Georg the first day, because you're not. All right. Trot a little bit, gallop a little bit, do some work, get the feel for the seat again, for the contact with the horse's mouth, and then, you know, right with the trainer. So that's everything I want to say about this. Wear the tall boots if you prefer them. No one will judge you. Wear whatever is comfortable for you. I think you should do that also. I think I agree with this for the first day. Okay. After that, yeah, half chaps. If you want to do real dressage, I think that the boots are better and they also will look better. I think aesthetics are important in dressage. All right, so I found this picture. When you get a direct kick to the leg, it looks like this. Jesus Christ, that is a hell of a kick. I hope this person consulted a doctor. Crazier horse psych. Ooh, that looks nasty. I'm sorry. It was one of those boom, split second things that caused me to get injured. Fortunately, I've still been able to ride and do barn chorus. All right. Yeah. What can I say? What can I say? I'm lucky my leg didn't shudder. I think I need a hug. This one is interesting. Despite strong prevention efforts, my barn has had a concerning number of colics for no clear reason. Is it an unfortunate coincidence? Or is there something I might be missing? Hey, pony peeps. Yeah, guys. Hey, pony peeps. My pony peep. I don't know. I have a puzzle that I'd love to get feedback on. I attend a barn in Colorado with about 50 horses at any given time. All the horses are rescues who come to be rehabbed and live out the rest of their lives, with some who are adopted out to trusted individuals who have formed special bonds with them, though many of the adopted horses continue to be boarded at the facility. I have been there for the past 9 months as a rider, leaser, volunteer, and recently became a working student. Unfortunately, in these 9 months, there have been 2 deaths from colic and 3 other non lethal colics that I know of. I've also heard of 3 other colic deaths that occurred in the last 2 years before I joined. Although it's not a shocking, this place needs to be investigated immediately and potentially shut down amount. It should rightfully raise some questions since it's higher than the estimated average, about 4.5% horses per year experiencing colic, and only 0.5% of horses dying from colic per year. If I were hearing this about another barn where I didn't have first-hand experience with the kind of care being given, I would assume that the horses were being given bad food or not having enough water, or they weren't getting proper vet care. The odd thing is, the standard of care at this place is actually quite high, and great effort is taken to give the horses a lifestyle that lowers the risk of colic as much as possible. I'm pretty stumped a bit and a bit worried as to why this keeps happening. Or maybe it's just pure bad luck. Several former employees and adopters bodies have brought up being concerned about it on social media, though I haven't seen them identify any particular reason why they think it's happening. One adopter who boarded there for 2 years says that her new barn has had 3 colics ever, no colic deaths in the 13 years of operation. I'd love to hear others' thoughts on this. Maybe there's something I'm not considering. Here are all the relevant facts I can think of. Apologies for this being long. The colics that happened in the last 9 months, none of these horses were in the same herd as each other. The 2 deaths. In summer, 6, 7-year-old Mustang colicked overnight. and cast himself against the shelter. It was found that there were high levels of unusual bacteria in his gut. The other horses in his herd and another herd that shares their pasture were quarantined, and all the horses were prohibited from grazing on that side of their property where the grass was tested for the bacteria. No other horses came down sick, and the grass was cleared as normal. It is suspected that the bacteria may have come from the feces of a wild animal, and the horse was the only one who happened to ingest it. In the fall, 5-year-old Minnie died of a sad colic. Initially seemed to recover, but it got worse the next day. And then we get 3 other deaths. Okay, 21-year-old. Okay, please note that 21 is already quite an age, okay. Okay, the 6-year-old, then the pony. All right. So let's look at the conditions. 24/7 access to clean and fresh water, good quality, never moldy hay, fed in slower feeder backs. Most horses get Bermuda, some get a combination of Bermuda and alfalfa. The amount and type of hay is tailored to be appropriate for each horse. Each horse gets their own custom feed mixture 2-3 times a day. About half of the horses get a wet mash containing various combinations, depending on the horse, of oak pellets, alfalfa pellets, senior, cool stands, chopped hay, and supplements. The other half get an appropriate amount of senior plus whatever supplements they need. Since the passing of the Mini who died in sand colic, they have been getting chia seeds mixed in as well. Chia seeds. I've never heard that. You give chia seeds to horses? Excellent source of nutrition for horses, providing them with a variety of minerals, antioxidants that can promote overall health and wellness. I hope that the chia gets put into water first, because otherwise it's probably quite bad. No horses are notably overweight and underweight. If someone gets a little over or under the ideal, changes are made to the diet and or exercise are corrected. Big changes are never made suddenly. 24/7 paddock turnout by default, like pasture turnout, 3 times a week that rotates by herd. The paddocks have covered shelters and plenty of space, roam and play, not cramped and overcrowded. Only 2 horses are stalled at night, and 1 horse with a coffin bone rotation. Every horse's faces checked once a month. Level of exercise vary depending on the horse. Lesson horses might be ridden or have ground training. Care when a colic occurs. Horse is kept out and walking. Good sounds, gum color, and hydration are checked. Benamine paste is administered if symptoms are not resolving 45 minutes to an hour. Benamine, the vet is called. Food is restricted and water is given freely. Once they have pooped and symptoms have subsided, they may be given a small amount of senior with an extra salt and magnesium and encourage them to drink one more. Okay, so it's interesting. So it's from what you tell here, it looks like those people at that barn know a little bit what they do. They have 24/7 paddock, so that's one important point. You check the hay, and still, 1 horse died from bacteria, but that was only one, was it? Something could be wrong still with the feeding. And it's not only the horse, the hay it doesn't have to look moldy or something for it to be dangerous or even deadly to the horse. It's important that with the hay, it's complicated. I would ask the question, where does the hay come from? And what you say, pasture, they're constantly on grass, right? If they're constantly on grass, then are there barns around there? Then you also say that when you have a horse that is in one area and then he has a colic or something, you change the grass area. I would try to inspect the grass for some deadly plants. There's a lot of deadly plants. And then also, if you get hay, then where's the hay coming from? Is there other barns that are eating from the same hay? Ask them about the colic rate. There can be a lot of plants, a lot of plants. There's a lot of plants that could be in the hay that are deadly for the horse, very deadly. There is substances that could be in the hay, in the food, that with the food just containing, or the hay just containing 1 microgram of that substance, the horse can die. There's a lot of these cases with these plants, etc. Also, the food, the alfalfa, etc. Where does it come from? Does it come from a feed company? Does a feed company specialize on horse food? And on, do they do tests, regular tests on venomous substances and venomous plants for horses? So let me just say, I'm not a vet, and I don't claim to be one. You should, especially the barn, should try to get some professional help, because you're right, that is quite a high rate. That is a high rate. So yeah, guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this format. I think it's interesting, and I'll see you on the next one.